Today on Extraordinary Explained, Kamaitachi Physiology. What if you could transform into a being of pure wind and razor-sharp blades? Imagine moving so fast you become invisible to the human eye, leaving only the whisper of wind and the sudden appearance of deep, precise cuts. This legendary yokai ability might just be the perfect combination of speed, stealth, and lethal precision. In Japanese folklore, the Kamaitachi are fearsome yokai, supernatural beings that appear as weasels with massive sickle-shaped claws. But they're not just any creatures. These extraordinary beings ride the very winds themselves, becoming one with the air currents to achieve speeds that render them virtually invisible. You might also hear this ability called sickle weasel physiology or Kamaitachi mimicry. But whatever name it goes by, the core capabilities remain equally formidable. Essentially, you'd gain the ability to either transform completely into a Kamaitachi or adopt their supernatural traits while maintaining your human form. Let's break down what this power would actually give you. First, those signature blade-like claws, natural weapons capable of slicing through virtually anything. Imagine having scythes attached to your arms, except these are living extensions of your body that you control with perfect precision. Combined with your wind-riding ability, you'd become essentially a living cutting tornado. But that's just the beginning. The true marvel of Kamaitachi physiology lies in your relationship with the wind. You generate powerful whirlwinds naturally, riding them to achieve what can only be described as invisible speed. We're talking about movement so fast that the human eye simply cannot track you. You'd appear to be the wind itself. How might you acquire such extraordinary abilities? While traditional folklore suggests you'd have to be born a yokai, theoretical pathways could include ancient rituals performed during powerful windstorms, encountering actual Kamaitachi in remote mountain regions of Japan, or perhaps through meditation techniques that forge a spiritual connection with these wind spirits. The mechanics of this power are fascinating. Your transformed body would exist in a semi-physical state, part solid matter, part wind element. Your cells would become capable of vibrating at frequencies that allow you to generate air currents and even disperse your physical form temporarily to become one with the air itself. This would explain the legendary invisible speed. You're not just moving quickly, you're partially becoming the wind. So what could you actually do with Kamaitachi abilities? The applications are surprisingly diverse. Need to travel quickly, generate a personal whirlwind, and zip across vast distances in seconds. Security work would be transformed. You could patrol entire compounds instantly, becoming an invisible guardian. Need to perform precise cutting work? Your natural sickle claws would outperform any manufactured tool. Historically, Kamaitachi were known not just for causing injury, but strangely, for medicinal abilities too. Some legends claim they could stop blood flow from the very wounds they created. Imagine being both the perfect surgeon and the perfect healer, cutting with supernatural precision while preventing blood loss simultaneously. Kamaitachi physiology shares some similarities with other wind-based powers, but its unique combination of cutting ability and wind manipulation sets it apart. While elemental air manipulators might control winds, they lack the natural cutting weapons. Speed-based powers might match your velocity, but they can't become semi-incorporeal wind. The nearest comparison might be to certain ghost physiologies, but even they lack your offensive capabilities. But power this extraordinary raises serious ethical questions. The ability to move unseen and deliver cuts that victims might not even notice until after you've gone. That's a recipe for potential misuse. Would you use such abilities for protection, or would the temptation to exploit them prove too great? The line between guardian and predator becomes razor thin, much like your very claws. One fascinating folklore detail is that Kamaitachi are often described as working in groups of three. The first knocks the victim down with wind, the second cuts with its claws, and the third applies medicine to halt bleeding. This suggests that the full potential of this ability might actually include healing capabilities alongside its more offensive aspects. Every power has its limitations. While Kamaitachi Physiology grants extraordinary abilities, you'd likely be bound by certain natural constraints. Your wind riding ability might weaken in enclosed spaces with no air circulation. Extremely cold temperatures could potentially slow your wind generation. And like many yokai abilities, sacred barriers or spiritual countermeasures might temporarily neutralize your powers. Kamaitachi Physiology represents a perfect storm of offensive and movement capabilities. The wind made manifest with the cutting edge of a master blade. If you possess this extraordinary ability, would you use it to protect or to harm? Would you become a guardian spirit riding the winds of justice, or would you give in to the predatory nature that folklore associates with these beings? Think about what you would do with the power to become invisible wind and razor-sharp claws. If you liked this video and would want to see more, please like, share, and make sure to hit that bell icon so that YouTube knows that you want to see more.